Curtis Blaydes. Does Curtis Blaydes have a bigger defender than me? Who is it? Who speaks up for Curtis all the time more than me? I've been going on 4 years asking you guys a question. What did Curtis do to you? I've talked about Curtis' successes. I've talked about his mindset. I've talked about his willingness. Is anybody even gone that far? I feel like I'm the biggest advocate that he's got. Curtis came out today. He was speaking about Ngannou. He said Ngannou should be able to go and box whoever he wants. As supporting evidence to that statement, he talked about precedents known as Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Now, fighters are beginning to make the same mistake, one after the next. They all get in a car and they drive it right into a brick wall. That mistake is predicated on the idea that anybody gives a damn what your opinion is. We don't. You don't get into MMA to go out to the media, the underground.com, .org, .nu media that covers us, to share your opinion. If it comes out of your mouth, it had better be good for your career. Everything is a negotiation. If you are ever talking, I should be able to assume you're negotiating, period. Or there's no point to say it. So Curtis Blaydes, my favorite heavyweight, just came out in defense of the guy who is going head-to-head with the people that are going to make the decisions about Curtis's career. Curtis Blaydes, who would like to be champion within the heavyweight division, would like his former two-time opponent to be able to go somewhere else and do something else that doesn't have anything to do with defending or creating or carrying on the lineage within the very division that he competes in. Now, if I was to ask you to explain to me, because see now we got to just go on what Curtis says. We got to juxtapose Ngannou versus Tyson Fury with Conor McGregor versus Floyd. These things might as well be apples and oranges, but this is the dialogue, so let's dig into it. Do any of you understand the boxing business model? Crickets, right? Of course you don't. What's there to understand? Chael, 2 guys walk out there, and I heard that they make a good amount of money while Budweiser sponsors it, right? Now, the boxing business model is extremely sophisticated and complicated. It truly is. You have nothing but dum-dums doing it. Like when I tell you sophisticated and complicated, they don't need like the 12-foot whiteboard the folks at NASA have. But it was a group of dum-dums, and they have screwed it up so bad that you have to come in and scratch your head. There's an expression, okay, just in life. If you can't explain something easily, you don't understand it well enough. I do understand the boxing model, and I cannot explain it to you. So to make any comparisons about a sport that you don't know anything about, I think is tough. When it's within your own division against a guy that you would like to fight, and if anybody's got a right to fight him, it's Curtis, because he went and did the heavy lifting twice. He might as well get into it a third time while something's actually on the line known as a belt. I need to hear from you guys, though. The next promoter of MMA is going to be a fighter. History repeats itself. The guys promoting fights today, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Oscar De La Hoyas. It's going to be the same thing with an MMA. One of you is going to rise up. And I need to hear from you now who thinks a signed fighter should be able to go fight somewhere else. Because when you do it, you're going to come for help, and you're going to come to guys like me to put investments, and I'm not giving you a dime. If that is the way your mind works, if I don't have a 100% assurance that you are going to protect our investment, I need to know now. What in the hell is the point of having a contract? A contract, it puts so much pressure. Dana White's got a great life aside from a stack of contracts that he gave to you guys, because now he's got to get 3 fights a year offered to every one of you or send you a check anyway. Which every one of you would have had your hand out in the world of a pandemic, an act of God that nobody could control, and you wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. You just said, pay me, I have a contract. But the one time that Dana wants to say, we have a contract, you want to go and do a job for somebody else. Conor McGregor, just so you understand the timeline, went out of nowhere and started calling out Floyd. Now, the problem with that is Conor said he was going to be the 45-pound champion. He was only 1 fight deep, and nobody knew who he was. On his way to that 45-pound championship that he promised he was going to win, he also grabbed himself an intern strap. By the way, leaves, goes out, sets a live gate record of $17.2 million to take on Eddie Alvarez for the 55-pound title, of which Conor never should have won. Said he was going to win, said he was going to do it by finish, said he was going to do it in the second round. He did all of those things. Mystic Mac is real, and all of a sudden Mystic Mac says, I'm going to go beat up Floyd, and here's why. He's too small, he's too old, his hands are little, his head is big, I'm going to put him down, and then we listened. Some bitch been right about everything else. It was a weird time in life. It's a weird time that story got over. But when you've made 5 claims and you did all 5 of them, why not bring Floyd? Well, then Floyd steps forward. Floyd says, I want to do that. Well, now all of a sudden, the people that are betting on this, and it's all a big bet and a gamble. Lord knows we can't count on any of you to do your job. All of a sudden go, man, I think we've got something here. They hold 4 press conferences. All 4 press conferences sell out. So if you have enough fight fans to sell at a press conference where you're guaranteed no punches are going to be thrown, you got a pretty good idea of what's going to happen on fight night. So just so you understand, once this was built, once this was done, once this looked like a good investment, Conor brought Dana in on it. That was a co-promote. That is a very different scenario. And if Curtis Blaydes think it's same, and there's a precedent set, Francis is not attempting to bring in Dana White. Now, I wish Francis the best of luck. I don't think there's a value in Francis Ngannou to box. I don't think that. That doesn't mean I'm right. I don't think there was a value in Conor McGregor to box. I know there was a value in a 2-time simultaneous sitting UFC champion with the greatest carnival barker in the business, Dana White, in your corner. I know there was a value on that, and that is where your $100 million came from. But that's not for me to know. If he can go get a deal, by God, go get it. But he can't go get a deal while you're here. I'm not an investor in the UFC, but there are investors in the UFC. The president of an organ doesn't have a whole lot of things he has to do. He has to agree to a contract, and he has to protect his interests because he promised people who bet on him that he would. Well, I want to go do a judo match in Japan with Akebone this weekend. That's not how it works. What is the point of having a contract? And in every fighter's mind, it's a one-way spigot. It guarantees me 3 fights a year. I don't care if an act of God happened. Pin me, pay me, and I'm going to move on to the next one. But you won't return the favor. And I don't think Curtis Blaydes thought this through. I think Curtis Blaydes is going to listen to his biggest defender, me. I think he's going to realize, oh my God, first off, I wasted my time talking to that .com about 2 other guys. I should have talked about myself and who my next opponent is going to be. I should not have given my opinion on anything. If it comes out of my mouth, it should be career-related, selfish, and be a mandate about me, which is why they called. I should not ever take the side of somebody who's going against my bosses. Oh, and by the way, Chael makes a good point. If we're not going to honor the contract, why'd we sign the damn thing?